So money just went 24/7. Stablecoins crossed $300 billion plus in the market cap. The BIS says that the foreign exchange trade volume is $9.6 trillion per day, which is as per September 25. And Japan just launched a yen stablecoin targeting 10 trillion yen in 3 years. And add AI agents to this, and the economy changes this quarter and not the next decade. What has truly flipped? Is it policy or PR?
Well, certainly policy first. This time, policy. Policy first, pipes second. The US Genius Act, the one that was passed in the end of July, has put federal guardrails on payment stablecoins, the reserves, the disclosures, the supervision, and then the pipes lit up. First, then Visa expanded stablecoin settlement, including EU stablecoin. Stripe has also turned on stablecoin subscriptions and checkouts. Citi and Coinbase are now collaborating on like 24/7 programmable flows, and Citi's big bank. This isn't just a demo, it's now already distribution, and it was led by policy.
No, this is absolutely bang on, Dari. I think after Trump came into the power and all these changes have been brought in, and crypto is like we remember the days when those were the worst era for being in crypto. Everybody was treated as criminal, and since Trump is there in the administration, they have opened up a lot. And the adoption of crypto is being seen in the institutional level with the banks, Citibank, Stripe, and all those payment rails and everything. So I think this is huge. Uh, can you, Rari, as we all know, and this is something which is not discussed much, but the stablecoin market is opening up, right? And there would be certain products that would become very relevant uh, because of this opening of the market. So, can you give me what are the products with some hard numbers, if you can?
So, first is B2B settlement 24/7. It is going to replace long waiting times with like minutes and seconds in cases of some chains. It has subscriptions and usage billings with like on-chain retries. Stripe like already has it. On-chain FX with addressable pool of like 10 trillion a day. Programmable trade finance, like programmable escrows, payment on delivery, proofs with oracles. Then it's payroll, like payroll and remittance for your employees on whatever weekend and holidays, by default completely automated. Prime settlement out of exchanges, like it can compress exchange credit, like with stables. What else? API and data and compute micropayments. When you think stablecoins with the new X402 standard, it enables HTTP native pay per request that is essential for like micropayments for microservices. That in turn enables machine to machine. So like agents that can pay for services and agents that pay agents continuously again. 24/7 with having exact prices on exact things that they want to pay for. And then if you look outside of United States, it's non-USD corridors. There is Euro stablecoin that is already launched. Japanese yen is also having 10 trillion Japanese yen target, and an always on swaps between different currencies inside the payment. That is what becomes possible when stablecoins are widely adopted, and it's very exciting for the industry.
Yeah, I mean that's great, Daria. I think uh, what Japan has done is commendable because none of the economies outside of Japan and US have their country currency denominated stable coins. And this kind of should be looked at by, I would say, UK and Europe more closely, because these economies which are getting on chain, there are a lot of products, and as you have listed out, T+2 goes out of the window. There is no Saturday, Sunday waiting time, and there are no risks out there of the weekend risk, what we call. So that those risks go out, and everything is happening within seconds. So I think what blockchain also has done is that it has brought atomicity to the finance of the world, and that atomicity is very quick on blockchain. With EternaX, obviously, we are bringing at 120 milliseconds. Now, the transactions that can happen across, say, between Japan and US, the settlement time is 120 milliseconds. That is what exactly our blockchain is providing. So this is great. Why are the agents a demand shock to this area? Why do you think that, what can agents do in this kind of scenario? Will they increase it or decrease it, or they will be irrelevant or be very relevant? What is your take on that?
One thing you have to understand about agents is that they are, in their operation, completely different from humans. They can operate much, much faster and in much, much higher granularity. So agents can do payments that no human would actually be doing manually, microtransactions. So agents can pay per request. They can pay for the inference tokens that they have consumed. They can pay for data. They can pay for bandwidths. They can pay for hedges. And they never sleep. And each single one of those transactions may be microcents. With stablecoins and with payments enabled by X42 standard and EternaX speed and agent like identity and validation composability, bots, intelligent bots and dumb bots can now discover, negotiate, pay, and settle by default in stable coins in microseconds. So the next billion of users of on-chain payments and just payments in general are going to be machines. Humans are going to just authorize kind of bigger picture, but not every single microcent of every single thing the agent wants to spend.
So, this is great, Daria. I think I remember from this tagline that next billion users used to be a point of discussion in the blockchain space, and Solana claims that the next billion users should be sitting on Solana. I think, but they are not realizing that the next billion users are not they are not human. They are machines, and hence the next billion machine are going to sit on EternaX, and that is where we stand today. Would you be kind enough to kind of explain us, why is EternaX inevitable for this future? Why is it required?
Well, yeah, I wanted to hook up on what you said about like Solana, and it's generally about the existing crypto and payments, even Web2 infrastructure. So agents do break existing infrastructure, and they do break generic chains in like at least like 4 ways. One of them is that they need spendable deterministic finality that is very, very quick. We're talking like 100, 200 milliseconds, because fast latency on a chain is worthless unless you can spend it. So that's finality. That's what required for agents to make their P&L very reusable right next block and continue the loop of the speed that they are operating for. Next, like blind batch fair ordering and like TE attested lanes, we want to give them auditable privacy. We want to give them provable receipts without leaking too much of an unnecessary information. When your payments are automated, the AI eyes are also automated, and we do not want to have showing everyone everything. That's another problem on generic chains. Then gas. Like you cannot have gas on micropayments. You want zero gas. Agents do not want to spend gas on every micro thing they spend. That's too much of a granularity. It's too much of an action. You want to have some sort of a subscription service. You want to have batches. You want to allow them to microtransact, and you don't want to take. You cannot take a cut on every single fee. So we want to abstract it for this fractions of a cent per request to something like a subscription service for agents that they can do and use payments for how much as they want in batch. Then it's, agent native accounting, like agent vaults, allowing agents to actually own and sign for themselves, to own their data, to own their receipts, to own their reputation, to own their feedback, to the models, the quotas, the rate limits, all of it reconciling autonomously on chain without, again, having to request approval, without having to have a human somewhere sign something for the agent to be able to proceed.
Yeah, definitely. I think that you have covered that extensively, and this is absolutely great. The idea is, I think, what these older legacy chains are missing is that your bank needs to transact on blockchain. So Japanese banks would be transacting tomorrow, and they need some sort of privacy for themselves. They don't want to show their balances, and that's how institutions work. They don't need that everything should be visible to everybody, because that's not just how trillions of dollars work in this world today. So I think these legacy chains are breaking and failing at multiple levels, and they are just not cut out for this kind of a future where agents are interacting with the 100 millisecond level, and they need privacy. And there is, again, like, we are providing zero gas for a reason, is because you can't charge every transaction just because they are using your blockchain. That should not be the case. And just to give you an example here, there was, on October 10th, when there was a liquidation of $20 billion, the gas fee on Ethereum was $400. So just imagine, like, it just does not make any sense. So I think these chains are not meant for it, and that's where the requirement of a new infrastructure is there, and that's where we are. Really excited for that area. So is this non-USD, the yen thing, is it real, or is it just headline? Can you just highlight some more information on this? I think many people haven't heard about this yet.
Oh yeah, it is totally real. Like USD is not the only token I wanted to say that exists in the world, and one of the very very leading, very flagship here is Japan. Japan has now fully backed state yen stablecoin that has launched with 10 trillion Japanese yen, which is about like $67 billion more or less, with 3-year target, fee free at start, and it is monetizing via state interest. So if you pair it, now you have Asian rails with US rails, and you can have atomic swaps of like Japanese yen to USD inside a single programmable payment. Like, you don't have to think of like first changing, then sending, then using a bank that accepts payments in that currency and all of that. You just send yen, receive USD, you send USD, receive yen on the other side. This makes trade finance and treasury hedging like materially, practically better than it was ever in history.
Now, this is absolutely, because I remember the days when they used to take T+2 days for settlement, and if the trade happens on Friday and you need to close on the USD side, and then you are waiting on the Japanese yen, then there is a pressure always that what would be the fluctuation rates there, and that kind of trouble. That was crazy. Uh, so I think this exactly this is exactly puts the other nations in the state where they should be thinking about this. And it would not be, I would say it would be very real to say that, if there are nations who want to use blockchain stack, which is fast, for their stable coins, I think we are good for them. So we are good to go.
Yeah, I think a few are also already following lead. I think Kazakhstan has just announced that, like last week, that they're also going to have to issue a state stable coin, unlike the euro is like Circle issued. But yeah,
I think Kazakhstan is doing on Binance. I think the greater idea would be for most of the nations to kind of test us out as well. Like, we also have a pretty credible tech here, and pretty fast, and best for everybody. So last cycle had promises, Daria. Why is this cycle different? Because we have been talking about stablecoin for very long, adoption, everything, but this cycle seems to be different to me. What exactly is different this time?
well, this cycle is the time for you to ditch your DJing glasses and put on a suit. That's what this cycle is. It is now authorization and distribution in crypto. We now first time have like federal stablecoin regime with the Genius Act in July, and that has unchained, well, actually chained, unlocked a lot of movement here in the stablecoin space and within crypto space in general. So now you have distribution by the big players like Visa, Stripe, Citibank, and others are following lead. Coinbase is partnering with a lot of banks and industry partners to bring stablecoins and crypto on the backend to people who don't even need to know there is a blockchain on the backend. They just get benefit of increased payment speed, of increased simplicity, and of better UX. So the surface area is huge now. So it's like 300 billion in stable coins. It's 10 trillion a day in settlement. So if you move even 1 and 2% of that onto programmable cash, it is material growth for the whole crypto industry. And we're now finally seeing like real retail here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think the last number that I remember from 2024 is the stablecoin volume was $24 trillion. And with this yen coming in, I think this year it's going to be, and years forward, it's going to multiply multifold. And that's something in higher 50 trillion. So I think this is huge. And imagine, putting a $400 gas fee on these volumes, like it does not make any sense. So I think there is a lot to improve in the infrastructure side for the legacy blockchains. They cannot enjoy what had been built back then, and kind of reap the benefits, because it does not make sense in today's world.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely right, Boris, and it's exciting times indeed. So stablecoins have turned money into programmable cash, and you now have B2B subscriptions, machine-to-machine, tokenized cash ops, off-exchange settlements live already now and available to the wider industry. The unlock is now going to be agents, not just humans, because they are able to provide much higher volumes and granularity and much smaller amounts of payments. They are going to win, and they're going to be the next billion of users of the chain and off-chain payments. So to be able to stay on hand with the agent load, the chains are going to need to provide next block spendability. They are going to need to provide fair and opaque order flow. They are going to need to provide zero gas UX. They're going to need to provide agent grade venues and agent grade accountability, agent grade spendability. And we are doing all of that on EternaX. So EternaX testnet is live. You can go check it out, and the link in the description, eternax.ai/platform, and let your agents settle in milliseconds. Right now they trade on prediction markets with a lot of exciting products coming out soon. So thank you everybody for tuning into the control loop, and see you in your next episodes. And thank you, Boris.
Thank you.